Hi folks, G3 here and welcome to another instalment of my journey to go green. Well folks, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoy it then please remember to click the like button, and also if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you get notified when I load up a new video. Right, let's get on with the video. What I'm doing today is starting another deodorant trial, and this time it is Earth Conscious Peppermint and Spearmint. Now it's a natural deodorant, it says no nasties, and made on the Isle of Wight in the UK. It's got things like Cocos nucifera, which is coconut oil, Maranta Arrowroot powder, it's got sodium bicarbonate, Shea Butter, sunflower seed, and it says 10p from the sale goes to the Marine Conservation Society, a UK marine charity with a vision of seas full of life. This is vegan approved. It's a 60-gram size approximately. Now this is a cardboard container. It has got a seal here showing it's plastic free, but also to say that it hasn't been tampered with. I've already opened that because I wanted to have a sniff of it, so that's where it is. Ooh, that is minty. Okay. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this goes. What sort of protection it offers, how long it lasts, and how much it's going to cost per application. So I'll keep you posted as to how this goes, and we'll I'll come back later and let you know how it's progressing, any issues I've had with it, and what I think. So I've been using it for probably, I don't know, about a month now. So I thought I'd take a look at it and show you what's going on. The cardboard tube is staying intact reasonably well. The deodorant itself is okay around the edge of the cardboard. That's still going okay. I've been pushing it up from underneath. You use a little bit of a pressure underneath and it will just push it up a little bit more and have more accessible. The scent is very nice, I think. It's a sort of like an earthy kind of mint scent. So that's very nice and quite refreshing. One thing that I have been finding with this is that when I've got hair underarm, I'm finding that there's a little bit of friction when I'm using it. And it can be a little bit uncomfortable when I'm putting it on. Though I mean, maybe I've got delicate underarms, not to my knowledge, but there is a little bit of friction from using this one. It's got a little bit messy on top today, but generally it's okay. But I am struggling to know exactly when I've got on enough deodorant, because ordinarily with other deodorants you tend to know the coverage when you're putting it on, but this one, as I'm rolling or rubbing, I'm struggling to know when I've gone and covered everything. It's not particularly clear, so I'm probably using more of it than I should be, which means it's probably going to be used up quicker, maybe. I don't know if that's a failing of me or the deodorant. I'm not really sure. Allow me to demonstrate. So I have gone and shaved, so it's not rubbing on the hair, so you can't actually see that demonstrated there. It feels quite cool going on, quite refreshing, but yeah, I'm probably being a little harsh on knowing when it's used, but that was my original impression, that I wasn't really sure of coverage on there. But it feels nice and cool, nice and fresh. The scent, being that minty scent, is quite refreshing. So that's definitely a plus. It's mostly finished, I believe. My finger's quite a way in there, so yeah, it's up to about here, so I'm on the last bits. So I'm not going to be able to push it through much further. It smells really good. Mrs. G3 likes the smell of this one. It's quite an earthy mint. The lid is mostly okay. It hasn't deteriorated too much. The cardboard is reasonably strong there. And the edge of this is also pretty good at the moment. It applies, let me just I need to push a little bit more through, and because it's towards the end, I've got to be a bit delicate at pushing it up. There we go, I've got a bit more. It's crumbling a bit. I think that's just the nature of getting towards the end. It applies okay, but I'm being a little bit careful because of not wanting it to crumble. So there's a little bit crumbling off there. And you can see because it's towards the end, it's quite, it's breaking up a bit. So there's pieces coming off there. It's quite malleable though, I can push it back on. But obviously my finger's getting a little bit mucky with that. So it's going okay, but because it was clumping a little bit and soft, especially on a warm day, it's sticking at the top of the lid a little bit. So I had to remove some of that and put it back on. But it's yeah, it's not a bad deodorant. It's going quite well. I think cost per application is going to be quite good, I think. But that's the Earth Conscious Deodorant. It's been over 100 days since I started the trial of the Earth Conscious natural deodorant. This one's the Peppermint and Spearmint scent. So what have I thought of it? How have I found it? Well, it's been quite a reasonable deodorant to use. It's not quite at the end of its life, but the reason that I'm ending the trial now is that once we've gone and pushed the bottom through, so I pushed the deodorant all the way through, the plunger at the end has come out with a little bit of the deodorant left on there. So there's some here that I can still use. So I think this is probably going to last me another, I don't know, 3-4 days maybe of rubbing and then rubbing onto my armpit. It's a bit of a shame with any of these deodorants that you have to get your fingers dirty a bit, but otherwise you'd be wasting some. You can see there's quite a bit of left there on the end, so I don't really want to go throwing that away. It's still perfectly usable. It's just, you know, not quite as easy to apply it as if it was coming out the tube. But that's the same with most of the ones that I'm trialing, so I'm not holding that against this one. What I do love about this is the cardboard tube. It's all completely recyclable, obviously, and it stayed relatively intact. Yeah, it stayed together, even though obviously I've been using it under my arm, but this is still intact. It's not got too moist and disintegrated, so that's all good. I did have to push up a long way. My finger doesn't reach all the way up this tube, so towards the end it's a bit awkward sort of getting it out and pushing it. I mean, you can use other, you know, like a pencil or something to get it out there. And since it's got to this small part, what I've been doing is keeping it in the lid, just keeping it there so that it retains its moisture. One thing that did happen as I was using it was towards the end, or when I was pushing this on, I was getting some stuck in the lid as well. So there's a tiny little bit there that I can eke out and use as well. So that was getting a little bit glued on there. Because it's been rather warm recently, that it's sort of helping, I guess, make it a little bit more fluid and likely to sort of stick in areas like that. I mean, that problem wouldn't occur during winter, so that, you know, it's not an issue there, but it's just the heat of the location. Let me have a look at my ratings and see what I say of it. So this is the Earth Conscious Natural Deodorant, the Peppermint and Spearmint scent. Now, Mrs. G3 loved the smell of this one. She said it smelled really nice, especially the mint, nice and fresh. But there's an earthiness to it. See if you think the same. Let me know and leave a comment down below if you can sort of put a finger on it. It seems earthy to me. But Mrs. G3 loved that scent. So the tube itself is 60 grams, and obviously the casing is cardboard, so it can easily be recycled. It costs £7. I got mine from the Plastic Free Shop. That's the plasticfreeshop.co.uk. But you can obviously get it directly from Earth Conscious and many other suppliers as well. I started this trial on the 7th of March, and I've marked it as ending on the 25th of June. I'm actually recording this a few days before, but I've given it a few days because of how much is left on here and how I'm still going to be able to use that. So in total, that's 110 days that I've used this for, that it's lasted. And that 110 days, £7 represents 6p per application. So a daily usage, that's 12p, once per armpit. That's quite reasonable. That's the same price as the Lush Tiao deodorant I've tested, to give you a comparison. And it's a lot cheaper than the Wild Bergamot Rituals deodorant that I tested. That came in at 11 pence per application. I have rated it as a smell. Now this is from 0 to 5, 5 being good. I've rated it 4 as a smell. So Mrs. G3 loved it. Me, I thought it was pleasant. So the earthiness I'm not sure about, but I've rated it 4 out of 5. Staining, I've rated it 4 out of 5. I didn't particularly notice a problem with staining under the arms as I was putting tops on and stuff, and after usage. It seemed pretty good to me, so 4 out of 5 I've rated that. The end of day smell, I've rated it 3 out of 5. So, bit of a whiff of the armpit. At the end of the day, I couldn't really smell it. I could, you know, it was giving me some protection, but I've rated it 3 out of 5, so that's midway. And for comparison, all of the deodorants I've tested so far have come in at that. I haven't noticed one that's been particularly bad or one that's been really good. So they're all kind of average at the moment. The day-to-day effectiveness, I've rated it 4 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was quite reasonable. So that's a good rating. I'm pleased with that. Sport effectiveness. So this is when I'm doing anything tough, anything hard going. Whether I was playing hockey or something strenuous that I was going to sweat a lot, I've rated it 3 out of 5. So it's not been as good as the Lush Tiao. I rated that higher, but it's 3 out of 5, so it's okay. Bearing all of those things into mind, using my rating score, it comes in at a percentage of 72%. So this Earth Conscious rates the same as the Wild Bergamot Rituals, but is a lot cheaper per application. But I've rated it slightly lower than the Lush Tiao, which came in at 76%. Now I do have a lot more deodorants that I'm testing, so obviously the list which you can look at down below. If you look in the description, you'll find a link to my chart where I'm recording all of this information. You'll be able to find the ones that I'm doing at the moment and see how they're comparing. So 72%, I think that's pretty good. Overall, I reckon this is a pretty good deodorant. It's a good price. It's a fair performer. It's quite small, so it wouldn't be much to take away with you in a travel bag. It was only 60 grams. So I think it was pretty good for that. I've got a few of these that I'm going to be trialing. So I've got a grapefruit and lemon and a lemon and rosemary. So there's different ones that I'm going to be trialing overall, and we'll see how those go. But I reckon this is a pretty good deodorant and you can't go far wrong with it. Just if you've got hairy armpits and delicate skin, you might find that there's a little bit of chafing there. But if you don't, it's not going to be a problem, is it? Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please click the like button down below. And if you haven't done so already, why not subscribe to the channel? That way you can benefit for all the hints and tips that I'm coming up with from my journey to go green. And of course, leave your comments. Let me know what you think of it if you've been using it. Is there another one that you think I should be trialing? Then let me know and I'll take a look at it. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Until next time, bye.